Hey guys, it's Trisha from Hiking Hippie Hemps, and I am going to do a tutorial today on how to wire wrap, or how I wire wrap some of my crystals and stones. I've had a lot of people ask me if anybody's like me. I collect rocks everywhere I go. Stones, they don't have to be fancy. I have some that aren't very pretty, but they have memories, and it's nice to be able to put that on a necklace if you'd like. So I'm going to show you how I do it. I have a moonstone that I'm going to wrap in some copper wire, and I'm going to hang an owl charm, a small owl charm from the bottom of it. And I've got my copper wire. This is, I believe, 22 gauge. The higher the number, the thinner the wire. And I like to use a wire that will hold its shape. It really makes wrapping easier. I do use thinner wires sometimes, but I think, for me personally, that a thicker wire is a lot easier. So I'm going to cut off 2 pieces of wire that are probably 10 inches maybe long a piece. It just kind of goes by the stone that you're using. If it's a big stone, you're going to need more wire. If it's a small stone, you're going to need less wire. This should be enough for this one. Usually I have quite a bit left over that I wrap around underneath the bale. And then I just kind of take my wire and straighten it out some. And then I've got my 2 pieces of wire. Cross them over, make an X, and then try to make them as even as you can. The pieces that are hanging out, like all 4 pieces, try to make them as even. They don't have to be perfect. Nothing's perfect, and that's the way life is, and it's good like that. And then we're going to just twist. And depending on the bottom of my stone, depends on how much I'm going to twist. The stone that I'm using, you can see the bottom of that is probably about a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to do probably 3/4 of an inch, or even up to an inch of wire wrap. That way it wraps up around the bottom of the stone. I'll show you why here in just a second. Let me get my wire wrapped here, the length that I need it to be. And you see this is just a very simple twist wire wrap. It's nothing elaborate. Anybody can do this. Okay, now I've got my wire twisted, and you can see that with this being the stone that I'm using, and it's longer than my stone, and that's what we want. But first we're going to put our owl charm on. So take 2 ends, 2 pieces of your wire, and lace your owl charm through here to where it's now on the twisted part, and put these 2 pieces back out, and now it looks like this, and you've got your owl charm on here. So our wire wrapping is actually, it's going to face this way. If you can see, like, this is going to wrap up the front and the back, and the owl is going to be in the middle. So I'm going to take my stone and I'm going to lay it in. But first I'm going to kind of bend this into kind of a U shape. It makes it a lot easier to grab your stone and put it in there, to put it like that. And then I'm going to take the part of my stone that I want to be in the front, which I'm thinking I'm going to do this side for my front. So I'm going to have it here. I'm going to sit that in the middle, and then I'm going to clamp this around it with my fingers, and this is where we're going to start our wrapping. And you want to make sure that you get it as centered as possible, but like I said, it's not perfect, not a big deal. And then we're going to take 2 of the pieces together on one side. We're going to wrap 2 or 3 times, lay it flat up against there, and then I'm going to turn it around. We've got the 2 loose wires on the other side, and I'm going to wrap those together 2 or 3 times, lay it up flat, and now you've got your base where it's sitting in there. You've got your owl charm hanging on the bottom, Okay, now we're going to just continue with what we were doing. We're going to lay these 2 pieces down like this, cross them over, and then just twist. Twist 3 times, spin it around, take these 2 loose pieces, lay them down flat, twist, lay those up against the sides again, your twisted parts, lay it up there to where it's like this. And you're just going to continue. You're going to build this all the way up until you get pretty close to the top. So I'm going to twist these 2 pieces, and then these 2 pieces, get them twisted. And then with this one, I think I'm actually going to twist these pretty far out, and this is going to start my bail. Go ahead and I'm going to do probably close to a 1/2 inch on each side. And you see how I've got that twisted on both sides? Okay, now get this laid out flat, and you see where we're at now. And your stone's in there really good, it's not going anywhere. I'm going to pull this up and pull this up to where these 2 pieces touch. And then, let me get my pieces of wire together here. And then I'm going to twist at the top to where now you have that. And then I'm going to twist it around to where I'm facing this direction, where it's going the same direction as the wire that goes underneath, because this is where we're going to make our bail. And I'm going to take 2 pieces of wire. I'm going to use my fingers and bend it around to where I have a hoop. And then hold on to your hoop, your bail on top, and just wrap your pieces of wire around. Take these 2 other pieces that you have left out and just wrap these, and just wrap until they get too small to where they don't want to bend for you. And then I use a pair of needle nose jewelry pliers, and I just gently, and you want to do this gently so you don't scratch up the metal, and you don't, if it's just like a sterling silver overlay on the metal, you don't scratch that or anything, but just gently kind of smush the ends down and blend them in with the twisting that you did to where they're not sticking out anymore, they're not going to poke you. And then there you go. You've got the wrapped moonstone with the owl charm. And then I just use a vegan faux suede cord, and I run it through to give you your necklace. And then, ooh, my owl's backwards. There we go. And you've got your owl necklace. Now I'll go back in with the ends of this and use cord end clamps and put on there some jump rings and a lobster clasp so that it's easy to take on and off. But if you guys have any more questions, I'm going to start doing some tutorials on this channel. Come follow me on Instagram under Hiking Hippie Hemps, and I'm also on Facebook under Hiking Hippie Hemps. My website is hikinghippieHemps.etsy.com. Love you guys. See ya.